Happening right now, police are seeing a heavy presence of protesters at Marion Square right now, as last week the mayor, John Tecklenburg, announced a plan to remove the statue of John C. Calhoun from Marion Square. So let's go back out now to News 2's Riley Benson joining us live with more on what's happening if things change in the last 15 or 20 minutes or so, Riley.
Yeah, Brendan, that's right. I want you to take a look at what you're seeing. Things have certainly changed since the last 20 minutes, since about 6 o'clock. And things have actually escalated since the last time we spoke, Brendan. As you can see, the protesters are on your right. This group is supporting keeping the John C. Calhoun statue here in Marion Square. And then on the other side of this fence that's barely dividing the two groups, counter-protesters here in favor of that statue coming down. That was a plan announced by the city of Charleston Mayor John Tecklenburg just last week. Now, a couple minutes ago, the counter-protesters were actually pushing the fence, looking like they were trying to push it towards this group of protesters, possibly, wanting to clash. They have stopped doing that. The law enforcement is standing by. Some of them have moved into this group. But the group of protesters in support of the statue, there's someone speaking right now talking about why they believe that statue should remain in Marion Square. As you can hear, the other group is just constantly chanting Black Lives Matter, among a few other things. It seems like tensions are high. It's very hard to hear what is being said, but the group of protesters referred to that group of counter-protesters as lawless and uncivil. But as we look around the perimeter of this is probably a couple hundred people gathered here since about 6 o'clock, and a heavy presence of law enforcement, some hanging around the perimeter, others here in the thick of it, trying to keep these two groups separated. Now, there's a lot of fencing here in Marion Square that the city of Charleston set up in anticipation of this event happening. As you can hear, the one group, the counter-protesters, are now booing the speaker from the group of protesters. Now, the group of protesters have several signs saying that history matters, and that is the reason why they're citing the statue should remain. And obviously, the group of counter-protesters are citing the history of John C. Calhoun as to why that statue should be taken down. Now, the city of Charleston will vote on this at tomorrow night's city council meeting. It's a resolution proposed by Charleston Mayor John Tecklenburg. I also want to point out something really quickly. Another group of law enforcement, unmarked vehicles, are pulling into Marion Square now. So obviously, law enforcement is aware. They're trying to keep this civil, keep things, as under control as possible. You can see things are just loud right now, but the two groups really are separated by a lot of fencing, trying to keep these two groups separated, but obviously they're hearing each other. Brendan, it's an active scene. We're going to continue to follow this. We have a reporter on scene, so we'll be covering these events as they unfold here in Marion Square through the rest of the evening. We're not sure how long this will last. We were told maybe till about 8 o'clock, but we'll be here on scene. Live from downtown Charleston, Riley Benson, count on 2.